Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Popcorn Devotional. Today we're going to be taking a look at The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian is one of my favorite Star Wars TV shows. It's the show that got my wife interested in Star Wars, so it holds a special place in my heart. It was really Baby Yoda that did it, or Grogu, not necessarily the show, but she got more invested. She started enjoying it more, and now she's watched all the Star Wars stuff with us. So this show overall, I'd say, is appropriate for older kids. It's got some intense scenes in it. It's got, some scary creatures. It does have a few bad words throughout the show. For parents, I would say just watch this one first or use your own judgment, or you could use some sort of censoring software to watch it with. So, but overall, like I said, one of my favorite Star Wars shows, and it follows a Mandalorian bounty hunter named Din Djarin. And I'm gonna try to keep it spoiler free, but I wanted to point out a pretty cool Bible connection in the show. So if you've watched the show, all throughout, you'll hear him say, "This is the way." And that's in reference to the Mandalorian, or Din Djarin's, smaller group of Mandalorians that are part of something called the Children of the Watch. And I won't go into all the details of that, but they just live a more strict lifestyle than the other Mandalorians, primarily by not taking off their helmets. And so when they say, "This is the way," it's got something to do with they're in agreement over something, or they're getting ready to do something that has to do with their belief system. But I'm sure you've probably heard someone somewhere say, "This is the way." But a cool Bible connection. Did you know that before Christianity was known as Christianity, it was called the way? No joke. So in Acts 24:14 it says, "But this I confess to you, that according to the way, which they call a sect, I worship the God of our fathers, believe in everything laid down by the law and written by the prophets." That was how Paul described Christianity when he was on trial. So before Christianity was called Christianity, it was called the way. And that's not the only interesting connection. So for Mandalorians, the way isn't just something they say, it's a way of life. And one of the interesting things about Din Djarin is that some of the other characters, even some of the other Mandalorians, think that him and his group are extreme because they don't remove their helmets. Now, whether or not their practice is correct is not really the point. What the point is that because they don't remove their helmets, they are immediately recognizable as Mandalorians. As Christians, we should be immediately recognizable as Christians. It should be obvious in the way that we talk, the way that we act, the way that we treat one another, the way that we treat other people, the way we love our enemies, how we love sacrificially, how we give even when it doesn't make sense. Should show people around us that we are Christians. They shouldn't have to wonder if we are Christians. It should be obvious, just like it's obvious that Din Djarin is a Mandalorian. But more important than that is why Christianity was originally called the way. Christianity was originally called the way because in John 14:6, Jesus said, "I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." Jesus didn't come to simply teach us a better way. He said that he is the way. And it was only through his death and resurrection that we could be reconciled with God. So following Jesus may make us look different, but that's because we're following the one who is the true way, the only way that leads to eternal life. So the next time you hear someone say, "This is the way," remember that long before Star Wars came about, Christianity was called the way. And Jesus said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life." So a couple dinner table questions that you could ask your kids or your friends and family. One, what is one way following Jesus makes us different from the world? And then two, if someone watched your life this week, would they know that you follow Jesus? So I hope that helps. I hope that gets you thinking and start some good conversations with your friends and family. But until next time, enjoy the movie, but don't miss the message. Well, this is a TV show, but you get the point.